Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Sadgurubhyo Namaha. Om Shri Narayanaya Namaha. Om Shri Lakshmi Narayanaya Namaha. Om Shri Swaminarayanaya Namaha. Om Shri Radha Krishnaya Namaha. Om Shri Prabhave Namaha. Om Shri Paramahansaya Namaha. Om Shri Hanumate Namaha. Divilingaya Namaha. Welcome to Nitya Satsang. Today is the 1st of November 2024. I want to offer my prostrations to all the great sages and to Paramatma, Bhagwan, residing in the heart of every being. We are continuing our exploration of basic fundamentals of Vedanta, just to clarify each fundamental idea before we proceed further into Vivek Chudamani, because we need that clarity to really grasp what Jagadguru Shankaracharya Ji is going to be teaching us as we move ahead in Shri Vivek Chudamani. Just to be clear, that the word Viveka is a discriminative power. It is a power, it is a Shakti, it is called Vivek Shakti, to separate real from what is unreal. To separate which is true, that is Satyam, from that which is not true, Asatyam. That which is illusory, that is called Adhyasa, and that which is actual, that is the Nitya. Nitya and Anitya. These are basic ways to understand Viveka. Now, understanding the terminology is necessary, no doubt. Understanding the terminology and then contemplating on the terminology is the next stage. The terminology meaning the Siddhanta, the teachings that are there. That we listen to it, understand it, that is called Shravan. Next stage is Manan. Third stage is Nididhyasana. Fourth stage is Sakshatkar. There are 4 stages. So it's not the quantity, it's how much is understood carefully, but there's a lot of terminology in that sense. For example, the notion of adhyas. What is that? Let's talk about that today. What is adhyas? There's a scripture called Adhyasa Bhasyam, written by Shankaracharya Ji. So I'll give you an example. So if you take, let's say, this shirt that I'm wearing, right? When I see this, what do I say? It's a t-shirt, 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 t-shirt. I'm calling it a t-shirt, I'm calling it a shirt, but Shankaracharya Ji would say that that is not what it is. It's adhyas. It is a superimposition. Superimposition. This is how we try to translate adhyas into English means that one notion is superimposed on the actual reality. There's really nothing like a t-shirt. Absolutely not. And if you look at it, you will see that is the case. There's only cotton. That's all it is. This is 100% cotton. It's taken a form so that it can fit on this body. So the word t-shirt, the form of it is adhyasa. Isn't it so? The same cotton could be fashioned into trousers. It could be fashioned into a sweater. It can be colored with red dye or yellow dye. But when we go for shopping, we don't think of it. We look at the substance. The substance is written on the label. 75% cotton, 25% polyester, right? And I'm itchy to polyester. I don't want any polyester, stuff like that. So the substance is there. The substance is the only reality. So this is an example from our own simple life, right? There are many examples of adhyasa. But we don't live that way. We live, how do I live? This is my t-shirt. If this is misplaced, where did it go? Of course, we need to have that. But inside my mind, I have the feeling that this is a t-shirt, which it is not. There's actually nothing like a t-shirt at all. There's nothing like that. It's totally false. This is what Shankaracharya Ji says about Maya. Maya hai hi nahi. That's what his guru's guru stated, Ajatavad. ever unborn. But is that really the case? This is interesting. Let's look at the other analogy. The other analogy is the Mrugjal analogy. The reflection of the sunlight on the sand that looks like water. So when we see it, it looks just like water. That's another analogy that is given. Obviously, there's no water there, but it looks like water. That is also superimposition of light that appears a particular way. It's the doctrine of appearance. So Shankaracharya ji is speaking the Advaitic doctrine. He's speaking from that enlightened state of the Brahman. Brahman is the only reality. Everything else is a superimposition, it's a reflection. That reflection is called pratibhasika satyam. Okay, so Sachin is standing in the desert, there's a mirage there, and I can see it. It's not like I'm not seeing, there is something I'm seeing, right? Isn't it so? I'm seeing the shirt, am I not? Yes. I'm seeing the worlds of names and forms, am I not? Yes. So Shankaracharya ji कहते हैं, this is called pratibhasika satyam. It is real relatively, it is a reflected consciousness. For example, another example of pratibhasika satyam, this is really fun stuff to talk about this. If you have 100 pots of water and the sun is shining, and you can see 100 suns in the pots of water. Are there really 100 suns? No, there's only the one original sun. There's not 100 suns. Similarly, what he will say, the Jivatma, each Jivatma is only the Paramatma that is reflected through Maya inside its own Shakti. This is Advaitic doctrine. Understand this point. Vivek Chudamani is simply to awaken our vision from those pots to the sun. Itni baat hai. Sachin ki drishti kahan hai? Names and forms, and because of that, then we have all the entanglements. Tarag, dvesh, aham, mamat. All those things happen. Then I can analyze the sun. I'm trying to analyze the sun inside the pot. This sun looks different from this sun. Because of this, the water is a little different color. The shape of the pot is different. The shape of the sun is different. Everything looks different all the way around. This is just an analogy. And then people are debating about, my sun is better than your sun and my water is better than your. All the mess. This is the world. Shankaracharya ji is saying, awaken and turn your vision away from those pots to the original reality. That turning of the vision from one to the other through the mind, through the mental mechanism, that is the sadhan chatushtaya. That is the whole Vivek Chudamani. Vivek Chudamani is just this. It is the actual turning of the vision away from the material world, considering it as real, which it is not, because it is pratibhasika satyam, and turning it to the original. Take for example, the sexual vasana. Right? It's very easy to understand this. I don't mean to be graphic about it, but it's a good way to directly explain the concept. Kitna power hai isme? Shakti kitni hai? Hamara astitva isme se hi aaya hai na? Isn't it so? Somebody had some sexual contact, mother, father, we were born. How we were born? Bhagwan Krishna bhi swayam kehte मैं कामदेव हूँ. ठीक है? He's written that in the Vibhuti Yog. देवों में मैं कामदेव हूँ. तो वो भगवान की शक्ति है और ब्रह्म की शक्ति है. But brahmacharya is what? Brahmacharya is the transmutation of these vasanas into the Brahman. Brahmacharya means revolving in the Brahmic consciousness. Charya means to revolve, to move inside the Brahmic consciousness again and again and again and again and again. So if a person reaches that realization, which is what? It's actually turning the mental force, the Shakti inside the mind, and the mental externalized vision, we can say turn it towards God. We can use the word God, that's a Christian or Jewish word. We can say turn it towards Bhagwan, that's a Hindu word. Or that's a but we can say, what Shankaracharya ji will say is, turn it towards yourself, that is Brahman. We don't even know ourselves. We have mistaken ourselves for the body, for these senses, for the objects. It's like that one sun that is reflected inside the pots. The pot is thinking, I am this. The sun inside the pot is thinking, I am the pot. I am the water in this pot. I am this limited person, limited amount of water. That's me. But who are you really? You're not even that reflection. That reflection is from someone. That's something that is only the one. That is Brahma. Ekameva Dvitiyam Brahma. But this is Advaita Vedanta. The other acharyas have a different perspective, or like just a more evolved perspective on this. But we cannot understand Ramanuj, Madhvacharya, Nimbarkacharya, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, or Bhagwan Swaminarayan. No way can they be at all understood until this is understood. Kabhi bhi nahi. No way. And this is why there's so much confusion in Sanatana Dharma. And actually, only those who have studied these things properly understand. See, many devotees, like if you go to some of the devotional sampradayas, they don't allow their devotees to study Shankaracharya. But I don't know if you know this or not. Yes, this is true. Many devotees, I won't give the names of that. I won't go into those discussions here. I know them very, very well. And they do not allow the devotees, the bhaktas, to even look at Shankaracharyaji's scriptures. Why? There's a danger. But this is why Sachin here, by the grace of Bhagwan Shiv, is trying to pull these ideas together so that all of this confusion disappears. And that's why it's recorded. What is the will of the God? That is Bhagwan ki ichha. But I'll tell you where the problem comes about. Why they say that. And then what is the problem in saying that also? In doing that. First of all, if you restrict your exploration of spirituality, that's a problem in itself. But I'll give you an example of what I'm give you an example of a friend of mine who is a Christian friend. मैं थोड़ा ये point अलग दृष्टि से आपको बताता हूँ. I have a very good, I won't give the name. I have a Christian friend and he is deep into Christianity. Deep. And I know him very well for now a couple of years. And he started, he does some comparative study and started studying some of the non-dualistic teachings and this and that. Do you know what I told him? I said, there's no problem in you studying the non-dualistic teachings, but you are so heavily, deeply absorbed in Jesus and your devotion towards him. If you begin to get attracted to the Advaitic teachings, your bhakti, devotion towards Jesus will evaporate. I said this to him. That's the danger in Advaita Vedanta. There is a massive danger, the danger is not because of Shankaracharya ji. It's because it is not thoroughly understood in the exact right way, and it is because what happens in Advaita, kiski upasana karni? Main hi sab kuch hu. This is what happens. And is that wrong? No. It is not wrong in terms of the Atman and the Brahman. But we are not ready for that. That's the problem. The problem is our ahankar, as in the human body, it reaches all the way up to we don't even know how deeply the ahankar goes. We cannot even understand that. So that is one psychological reason why all the acharyas, including Shankaracharya ji, have emphasized bhakti. Even Shankaracharya ji emphasized bhakti. Do you know that 80% of Shankaracharya ji's literature is bhakti literature? People don't know that. People think, oh, Advait ke guru the. वो अद्वैत के गुरु है और अद्वैत क्या है थोड़ा समझना चाहिए. Otherwise, you misunderstand Advaita, your bhakti will be obliterated. I have seen this happen. किसकी भक्ति करनी? मैं ही सब कुछ हूं. That's it. And there are many scriptures written on this point. Even Ananda Mahima, great sage from the Punjab, female saint, you can look her up. She's a fully enlightened saint. There's a book she's written, Main Hi Hu. It's Advaitic. She's a devotee of Krishna. She initiated herself. Ananda Mahima, she said she took Diksha herself. She initiated herself, actually. Nobody initiated her. And she's fully enlightened. There's the danger in all of this for us, for the normal human beings. Isme se danger kya hai? If you start studying Advaita Vedanta and you don't have the proper bhakti and purification or realization, it's easy to chant the Mahavakyas. Maybe chant kar sakta hu. Soham, aham brahmasmi. And if my bhakti is not there, enough devotion is not there, purification is not there, those same Mahavakyas will enhance and expand my ahankar and obliterate bhakti. Aisa bahut hua hai. It's not anything against Shankaracharya ji. It is the danger of misunderstanding Advaita. There's an incident in Vachanamrut. Vachanamrut mein ye point bhi aata hai. Shriji Maharaj is sitting with his Paramahansas, with his Bhaktas. और वो इस टाइम में वो सब भक्त थे, they used to put this bag on his head and all that, just as a devotional. He's an enlightened being. And then some of these very misinterpreted scriptures of Advaita Vedanta were brought to Maharaj, and they were read in front of him about this kind of thing that I was just describing. मैं ही सब कुछ हूँ and all. You know what happened? There's an incident, मैं आपको बताऊंगा, वचनामृत में लिखा है, वो जो Maharaj, tears started coming from his eyes. And this bag he's wearing, it kind of fell off, he got so despondent listening to that. He said, my God, anybody who goes into this, इसकी क्या दशा होगी? इसमें मुक्ति नहीं होती. This is why this is dangerous. That's why Sachin selected this subject. This is one reason why Advaita, because this is so highly misunderstood. See, the average individual doesn't care. They're only interested in Kam, Krodh, Lobh. It's Kanchan, Kamini, Kirti. ये तीन ही बात है. वासना कैसी पूरी हो जाए, पैसा कहाँ से मिले और मान कहाँ से मिले. बस इतनी ही बात. उनको कोई ये सब डिस्कशन की कोई पड़ी नहीं है. But it's there throughout the world. There are groups of people, thousands and millions even, who don't understand this thing. So the incident in Vachanamrut is like this. Maharaj there's tears coming from his eyes because of the intense misunderstanding of Advaita. And Shriji Maharaj said, I can see what happens to those souls who have misunderstood this thing. They wind up completely devastated. They wind up even more trapped inside the ego and the sansar at a level that they cannot come out of that thing. This is why there's a strong, very powerful statement in Vachanamrut, which itself is misunderstood by so many. That statement Shriji Maharaj said in Gujarati, ke panch mahapap thi vadhare paap che ke Bhagwan ne nirakar samajhva. You know what that means? There's 5 major sins, papa. And to consider God as Nirakar, do not consider God as Nirakar. This is why. Nirakar Tattva hai. That means Tattva meaning that the formless Brahman is there. Maharaj himself is accepted. Aksharna Beswarup. Karara Pratham 21. When you reach Nirvikalpa Samadhi, all the forms disappear. All the forms. But there is Bhagwan in that divine light. There is a divine light. Usko Brahma Tej kehte hai. Tej no Rashi. In Vachanamrut, in Gujarati, it is written Tej no Rashi. So when a bhakta, a mukta, a devotee reaches that stage where all the vasanas are gone, the causal body is obliterated. Shankaracharya ji is speaking from that point of view. And Garada Pratham 39 explains this very, very clearly. I'm just putting it here by the grace of God, to pull these ideas together. In Nirvikalpa Sthiti, the world disappears. Shriji Maharaj said, "Wo Mahamuktani Sthiti che." And see, these kinds of subjects are discussed in the new book that was just published yesterday. As I was saying, that it's taken 15 years to write this book and it's finally done. And this is one of the subjects that is discussed in this. I'll show it to you. Swaminarayan Spirituality by the grace of Bhagavan. It has taken 15 years to write. This is the PDF of the book right here. I don't know if you can see this or not, but you might be able to see it if you're using a phone. Swaminarayan Spirituality Volume 1, Grace, Spiritual Practices, Multidisciplinary Connections with Ekantik Dharma. And it has taken a phenomenal amount of time to pull this together. So there is a picture of Maharaj, and this is the whole spirituality shown in this diagram. This book is 816 pages long, and it is intense. I mean, it covers all these subjects. But what is described here is this combination. See this right here, Dharma on the left circle. Right circle is Vairagya. Bottom here is Jnana, Brahmacharya, and Bhakti. I added the Brahmacharya inside here, and when you have these 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you have the state of Ekantik. You have what is called Ekantik Dharma, the state of an enlightened being. All 5 of them. Brahmacharya is already there in the other 4. Naturally, it is there. It's already there in Vairagya and Jnana. Vivek Chudamani is talking about Vairagya and Jnana. These 2 circles, Shankaracharya ji uses Bhakti as a support for Vairagya and Jnana. But without dharma, which every acharya says, dharma doesn't mean religious affiliation. It means the right kind of alignment with the truth. Without that, nothing here is possible. Possible hi nahi hai. So if you go, this is the dedication actually. Mangala Murti Mahaprabhu Shri Sahajananda Sukharup Bhakti Dharma Sutta Shri Hari Samuru Sadai Anup. This is the first line from Bhakta Chintamani. And right here from Satsangi Jivan, this entire set of Sanskrit verses are the 64 saintly qualities. So this revered volume is reverentially dedicated to Sri Swaminarayan, to all venerable sanctified sages, to all devotees, and to all sageous souls in the pursuit of spiritual enlightenment. And it goes on. I mean, it's a very intense analysis of Ekantika Dharma. So what I wanted to show you here, there was something I wanted to show you here. Let me see. Yeah, so if you look at this, the interplay of Jnana, Vairagya, Dharma, and Bhakti, the Shikshapatri calls for the culmination of Vairagya and Jnana, which reconciles the role of Maya and devotion to Ishvara, invites a profound engagement with the core principles of Hindu philosophy. What does that mean? It means that Vairagya and Jnana, they come together, and when you mix Bhakti with that, what happens is that inside of us, the causal body is absolutely obliterated. So and this is where that, remember the last couple of days mentioned about Ananda. कि आनंद की अखंड आनंद is अखंड, वो अखंड आनंद की प्राप्ति यहाँ होती है. When Jnana and Vairagya combine together, it's like the birds with the 2 wings flying. You can fly. Jnana and Vairagya, mumukshu ni be pakho. The mumukshu, as Shankaracharya ji says, has the one who is seeking liberation has 2 wings to fly towards God. That is Jnana and Vairagya, and there's 2 other wings also. That is Agnya and Upasana. We'll talk about that another time. It's amazing stuff. But so by the grace of Bhagavan, after 15 years of intense research, this book is finally done. I cannot tell you how many hours have been spent in the last 1 year staying up until 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock at night trying to finish this book, It is an extraordinary piece of research. It has lots of research, and it's just the first volume. The research I conduct will be able to create multiple volumes of it, but this covers it's like a complete modern extract of the spirituality with every possible connection on the philosophical side, psychological side. Shankaracharya ji, Ramanuj, Mirabai, Kabir, everybody's included in this. There's nobody left out. Jesus is included. Some Christian saints are in here also. So many things are there. Truth is only one. Satya ek hi hai, wo hamare mein hai. It's not something outside. It's inside of us. It's within us. It is us. So with that, Dhyanamulam Guror Murti Mantramulam Guror Vakyam Pujamulam Guror Padam Mokshamulam Guror Krupa Tameva Mata Chipita Tameva Bandusha Saka Tameva Vidya Dravinam Tameva Sarvam Mamadeva Deva Om Durge Rakshini Tata Svaha Om Shri Durga Arpanamastu Om Shri Radha Krishna Arpanamastu.